I'm Jodelle with Have Travel Memories Vacations. We are a family of travel advisors because we are a family that loves to travel. We're also a family that loves to eat. And one of the things our family's been doing lately is sharing cooking videos with each other, sharing some of our favorite recipes. And my kids have been asking me if I would do a video on how I make one of our favorite treats called Krackle. This is an easy treat. You don't have to bake it. It's great for hot summer days, except it's not easy to eat unless it's cold. So you want to keep it refrigerated, otherwise it's messy because it is chocolate. But it is so easy to do. The problem is I have never used a recipe. I don't even know where I learned how to do this. It was years and years ago, and I'm sure I had a recipe, but for over 40 years I have not used a recipe. So when I decided to do this, I had to stop and figure out how many cups of this I needed and what I needed of that. So I think I've got it all figured out. There's not very many ingredients. Corn flakes, about 5 cups, Riley? That's what we figured. 5 cups of corn flakes. I'm gonna get this out of the way. So I've measured those out. Chocolate chips and butterscotch chips. So 12 ounces of the chocolate. For some reason, the butterscotch is a little smaller bag, but that's actually a good thing because a little bit more chocolate is what really makes this. I don't know exactly what the butterscotch chips do to this. It's not something I would normally think of using in anything, but it is so good mixed with the semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then we use a stick of butter, and we use a little bit of half and half to just smooth out the chocolate as we're melting it. Now Riley has already pre-greased the cookie sheet with the butter. She just took the stick of butter and greased the cookie sheet, and she greased our pan. I use a big pan because, like when you're making Rice Krispie treats, you just kind of need a big pan to mix all that up in. And because I do it this way, it's hard to do it in a double boiler and even hard to do it in the microwave. So I just always do it on the stovetop on a lower heat and watch it really closely. So we're gonna put it all together and start cooking this, and then we will show you what the results are. The first thing I do is start melting the butter, and then I'll add the chocolate chips. Once the butter has started to melt, rather than just putting the chips directly into the pan without some liquid in there. So Riley will open these and get them ready to put in. That butter won't take very long. I also use a wooden spoon, especially when I'm working with candy like recipes, melting chocolate, that kind of thing. I love my wooden spoons. So if I'm only doing a little bit of chocolate for something, I'll do it in the microwave because my microwave has a soften feature on it, and it's very nice. It's hard to ruin it that way, but there's just too much going on, so I'm gonna do it on the stove. So let's see. It's already starting to melt. Let's get a little bit more in the bottom of the pan as it melts. Have it melt just a little bit more. Okay, Riley, you can start. Every stove is different, so you'll have to know your stove and just what temperature you want this on. So now I'm going to add a quarter cup of half and half. Mix that in there. Mix it up real quick. That will help make the chocolate a little smoother and easier to work with. And then we'll add the corn flakes. Perfect. Oh, good. Just about ready. Now we're ready to add the corn flakes. Just pour it right into the pan. Just mix it up a little bit more because we're going to actually take it off the heat as we do this. Scrape the side of the pan just a little bit, Riley. There we go. Okay, let's take it over to the wooden block and let's add the chocolate chips. I mean the corn flakes. Chocolate chips are all melted. Show it, let them see that. See, it's all melted. The half and half just makes it a little bit easier to work with. So now we're going to add, you want to mix it? 5 cups of corn flakes. You just mix it all up. The corn flakes will break up. That's fine. We're not trying to keep whole corn flakes. They're just going to crunch up in there. That's where we get the Krackle from. And actually, when this is all done, it reminds our family of the Krackle candy bar. So my kids, just from the time they were little, started calling it Krackle. So we still call it Krackle today. So as soon as Riley gets that mixed up,
looks about good.
Okay, let me see it. We're just about ready. We're going to put it in the pan. We're going to press it down. So, you ready to start pressing, Riley?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We just put it in the pan and we press it down in there real good. You see, because we buttered the pan, everything just comes out really easy. So then we take it and we just press it down in. It only takes just a minute to get it pressed in there. And then we will put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and we'll come back and it will be all ready to go and we'll show you what it's like. So 30 minutes, we'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes. I think we're ready to check our Krackle and see how it turned out. And I hear Riley. Right on time, Riley. Let's check our Krackle and see if it turned out. Ta-da! Oops. Here we are. So, I think we better start over.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
Okay, it looks like it turned out okay, Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's too bad they can't taste this like we can. It is so yummy. Now let's put it over here.
Yeah, let's put that over here.
All right, so once it sets up, you take it out of the refrigerator and you can't cut it into squares or anything. You can't control it. So I use a butcher knife and I just start kind of breaking it up. Once you get the first one done, then the rest of them fall into place. So you want to start putting these on the plate?
Sure.
As soon as I get some of these broken up, then you can use the spatula.
Mm-hmm.
Probably let me break them, and then you use the spatula to lift them off. Okay. This is how we do it. At least this is how I've always done it. This is so good. Okay, Riley, let's start. You can take them and you can break them into different sizes, whatever you want. If you're going to serve them on a plate to serve guests or something, just pick the sizes that you want. Keep them somewhat uniform and make an attractive display on a plate. For me, when this is all done, there's all these little pieces like this left over. This is about like eating a bag of popcorn. It's a wonderful snack. So for me, I put them in a little Ziploc bag and I hide them somewhere in my freezer or my refrigerator. And it'll totally satisfy my chocolate craving for a while. And now when we set out a plate of these. It doesn't take long for it to be gone. A good way to store it though is to put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it refrigerated at all times, because if it sits at room temperature very long, it just gets kind of soft and messy. This is very difficult for children to eat unless it's really cold. I even keep it in my freezer sometimes, but I don't want to cut you, Riley. I'm coming over here. Here's some more.
Jesus.
So while Riley is doing this, I'm going to go over the recipe one more time with you. It's so easy. It takes about 10 minutes to make this Krackle treat. 5 cups of cornflakes, about 4 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup of half and half, 1 stick of butter, and a bag each of butterscotch chips and semi-sweet chocolate chips, and that's all there is to it. You melt the chocolate in the butter, and then you put the cornflakes in, add the half and half just to kind of smooth things out, make the chocolate easier to work with. Put it in a buttered cookie sheet and refrigerate it for about 30 minutes, and then you've got Krackle. I hope your family will enjoy Krackle as much as our family does. Thanks for watching today. We'll probably have a few more surprises for you. So if you like, hit the like button and subscribe so that you know when we have another one. So I will see you later. Thank you for coming to our kitchen today.